President Ramnath Kovind to address the nation today on the eve of 72nd Republic Day. The address will be broadcast from 7 p.m. on the entire national network of All India Radio and telecast over channels of Doordarshan in Hindi, followed by the English version. Eleven National Voters' Day to be celebrated today. President Ramnath Kovind to grace the occasion virtually as chief guest at the national function in New Delhi. Election Commission to formally launch electronic electoral photo identity card program, that is e-Epic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar awardees via video conferencing. 32 children awarded Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar 2021. Golden Jubilee celebrations of Himachal Pradesh's statehood begin today. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to be the chief guest. Governor Bandaru Dattatreya will preside over the function. Proposed tractor rally by the farmers to be held amidst tight security after conclusion of Republic Day parade. Delhi police gives permission, says apprehension of disturbance in farmers' tractor rally with over 300 new Twitter handles in Pakistan. First ever hybrid IFFI closes, honouring the best of world cinema. Into the Darkness bags Golden Peacock Award. Taiwanese director Chen Yan-ko wins Best Director Award for The Silent Forest. Zhu Xuanliu adjudged Best Actor Male. Polish actor Zofia Safis receives the Best Actor Female. Indian Personality of the Year awardee Biswajit Chatterjee says Bangladesh and India are one, not separate. And Delhi and North India continue to experience cold wave due to western disturbances. No respite from bone-chilling cold till last days of January. Good morning, you're watching DD India and I'm Preeti presenting this edition of the news this morning. Our top story first. President Ramnath Kovind will address the nation on 25th January on the eve of the 72nd Republic Day. The address will be broadcast from 7 p.m. onwards on the entire national network of All India Radio and will be telecast over all channels of Doordarshan in Hindi, followed by the English version. Broadcast of the address in Hindi and English on Doordarshan will be followed by broadcast in regional languages by regional channels of Doordarshan. Metro train services will be regulated tomorrow on the 26th of January at select metro stations. The services on Line 2, that is Huda City Centre to Samipur Badli, will be partially regulated as part of the security arrangements as per the instructions of Delhi Police. Further on the same line, entry and exit at Central Secretariat and Udyog Bhavan metro stations will remain closed from the start of revenue services till 12 noon. Also, Central Secretariat station will only be used for interchange of passengers between Line 2 and Line 6. Entry and exit at Patel Chowk and Lok Kalyan Marg metro stations will also remain closed from 8:45 a.m. till noon. It is to be noted that all metro parking lots will also remain closed from 6 a.m. today till 2 p.m. tomorrow due to security reasons. India is all set to celebrate its 72nd Republic Day tomorrow. The event will be marked by a grand parade and entertaining traditional performances. Like every year, Doordarshan has made elaborate arrangements for live telecast of Republic Day celebrations in the heart of the national capital. Up next, we'll take a look at the arrangements made by Doordarshan for live streaming of this grand event.
The 72nd Republic Day celebrations of India, displaying cultural diversity and military might of the country, is going to be held on 26 January 2021 amid COVID-19 protocols. For several years, Doordarshan has been live streaming Republic Day celebrations, and this year again, the national broadcaster has made elaborate arrangements for live telecast of this grand event.
This Republic Day is coming at a very crucial juncture while the nation is fighting back against the pandemic and while observing all COVID precautions. The Doordarshan team has mounted a production for the Republic Day parade, which will be of a scale never before. We will have in total 48 cameras with several new angles and views, and also a lot of new technology. I was just shown the buggy camera, which is controlled wirelessly and which can bring in very close views of the marching contingents. Similarly, we have a 360-degree view as well. So I hope it will be a spectacular Republic Day.
The live production will bring footage from 48 countries, 6 Jimmy Jib, 4 PTZ cameras, 1 mobile buggy camera, several robotic cameras and 360-degree view cameras. An 80 feet high hydraulic crane will give a bird's eye view of the event. The mesmerizing event will be screened on 50 monitors controlled by a production room at the Rajpath.
नहीं, इम्प्रूवमेंट तो हमारा हमेशा का मोटो रहा है. हर साल हम इम्प्रूव करते रहते हैं. इस बार ये है कि जो लोग घर से देख पाएंगे, क्योंकि कम लोग यहाँ आ पाए हैं, उनको पिछले सालों से बहुत बेहतर कवरेज दिखाई देगी. जैसे बगी कैम है, लेंसेज बहुत बेहतरीन लगाए हैं, जिससे बहुत सजीव आप सब लोग देख पाएंगे लाइव टेलीकास्ट इसका.
Cranes and robotic cameras have been placed right inside the president's enclosure so that the entire extravaganza could be covered from every angle. Cameras have been placed at the War Memorial and the India Gate to ensure that the visuals of this grand event could be live streamed in the best possible way. This time, highly sensitive microphones are being used at the Rajpath so that people watching the event at home could have a feel of all minute sounds.
Doordarshan has made very elaborate arrangements for integrated coverage of the entire parade from Rashtrapati Bhavan to National War Memorial. Very especially this time we have the type of microphones which we have installed. They are so sensitive that they can catch the footstep sounds of the contingents which are moving on the Rajpath. This is the event for which the whole nation waits, and globally also it is watched. All across the world, the people wait for it. For sign language interpretation also, arrangement has been made, and people can watch sign language version of the entire parade on DD News and DD Bharati.
So, be ready for this grand extravaganza full of patriotic fervor. The most experienced team of Doordarshan is all set to bring it to you. With Sudhir Yadav, Bureau Report, DD India.
Yes, so the preparations all done. The Election Commission of India is celebrating the 11th National Voters' Day today. President Ramnath Kovind will be the chief guest at the national function organized by the Election Commission in New Delhi. During the event, President will confer the national awards for the year 2020-21 and will launch Election Commission of India's web radio, Hello Voters. Now, this online digital radio service will stream voter awareness programs and will be accessible through a link on the Commission's website. The national awards for the best electoral practices will be conferred on the state and district level officers for their outstanding performance in the conduct of the elections. National awards will also be given to important stakeholders like national icons, CSOs and media groups for their valuable contribution towards voters' awareness. Also, the theme of this year's National Voters' Day is making our voters empowered, vigilant, safe and informed. This year's theme envisages active and participative voters during elections. It also focuses on the Commission's commitment towards conducting elections safely during the COVID-19 pandemic. The National Voters' Day is celebrated on January 25th every year since 2011 to mark the foundation day of Election Commission of India on 25th of January 1950. Dedicated to the voters of the country, the day is utilized to spread awareness among voters and for promoting informed participation in the electoral process. In the event, Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will launch the e-Epic program and distribute e-Epics and electoral photo identity cards to 5 new voters. Now, e-Epic is a digital version of the electoral photo identity card. The minister will also release 3 publications of the Election Commission during the event. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar awardees on 25th of January, that is today, via video conferencing. The government has been conferring the award to children with exceptional abilities and outstanding achievement in the fields of innovation, scholastic achievements, sports, arts and culture, social service and bravery. This year, 32 applicants from across the country under different categories of Bal Shakti Puraskar have been selected for the award. And the government confers the Bal Shakti Puraskar awards under Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar to children with exceptional abilities and outstanding achievement. Achievements in the fields of innovation, scholastic achievements, sports, art and culture, society and social service and bravery are put forth, and this is what the details of the Bal Puraskar function will be. We'll keep you updated. Let's get to other news now. The Golden Jubilee celebrations of Himachal Pradesh's statehood today will be undertaken in a befitting and a grand manner at the district as well as sub-divisional levels across the state. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will be the chief guest at the Golden Jubilee function at Ridge Ground. Governor Bandaru Dattatreya will preside over the function, which will also be attended by BJP President JP Nadda and Union Minister Anurag Thakur. A special postal stamp is also likely to be released to mark the day. On 18th of December 1970, the State of Himachal Pradesh Act was passed by Parliament and the new state came into being on 25th of January 1971. Thus, Himachal Pradesh emerged as the 18th state of the Indian Union. Delhi Police and Farmers Unions have reached an agreement on the modalities to carry out the tractor rally on Republic Day. The Delhi Police has informed the media that farmers will be allowed to hold peaceful, disciplined tractor rally at a stretch of more than 60 kilometers at each of the border points at Singhu, Tikri and Ghazipur.
फार्मर्स का संयुक्त किसान मोर्चा का उनकी जो इच्छा ट्रैक्टर रैली के रूप में दिल्ली में आकर उसे निकालने की थी, उसको रेस्पेक्ट करते हुए दिल्ली के 3 जगहों से टर्न कराकर एक रेस्पेक्टेबल स्ट्रेच, जो अगर उसको हम उसका आकलन करें तो करीब 63 से 64 किलोमीटर का स्ट्रेच टिकरी बॉर्डर से एंटर करने पर और वही करीब 62-63 किलोमीटर का स्ट्रेच जब हम सिंघू बॉर्डर से एंटर करते हैं तब, और गाजीपुर से जब एंटर करते हैं तो तकरीबन 46 किलोमीटर का जो स्ट्रेच जो टोटल साइकिल है, इस पर इन प्रिंसिपल एग्रीमेंट हो गया है.
Also, Delhi Police is aiming for peaceful rally and security of farmers despite significant intelligence inputs of disturbance by anti-social elements from Pakistan. The Delhi Police also said that 308 Twitter handles are being run from Pakistan, aiming to cause law and order disturbance.
जो फार्मर्स ये जो प्रोटेस्ट है, जो ट्रैक्टर रैली है, इसको डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए 308 ट्विटर हैंडल पाकिस्तान से जनरेट हुए हैं और वो कॉन्टिन्यूअस इस पर काम कर रहे हैं. तो इसका भी ध्यान रखते हुए इस विषय पर भी उनके साथ एक सशक्त संवाद पैदा किया. इन जगहों पे एक हाई लेवल का एक फेल प्रूफ सिक्योरिटी, उन सिक्योर्ड वातावरण में, सिक्योर्ड माहौल में और सिक्योर्ड रूट पर उनकी ट्रैक्टर रैली को हम सफल तरीके से संपन्न करा पाएं.
And 9 days of cultural bonanza at the 51st International Film Festival of India concluded with a grand closing ceremony in Goa. So the curtains came down on the first ever hybrid International Film Festival of India, honouring the creme de la creme of world cinema. Information and Broadcasting Secretary Amit Khare said on the occasion that this year's IFFI marks the triumph of human spirit over disease.
The closing ceremony of the 51st edition of the International Film Festival of India was held in the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium in Goa on Sunday. The glittering ceremony was attended by Goa Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Minister of State for Environment, Forests and Climate Change Babul Supriyo, Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant and INB Secretary Amit Khare among others. Each of the dignitaries present expressed happiness at the successful holding of the film festival.
जो आज देश का संचालन कर रहे हैं जो मैं सोचता हूँ कि जो जिनका जो संकल्प है वो शायद हिमालय से भी ज़्यादा कठोर है, कड़ा है। तो ऐसे प्रधानमंत्री के रहते और उनके प्रेरणा से और भाई प्रकाश जावड़ेकर जी केंद्रीय मंत्री के सहयोग से और सबसे अधिक आज जो फिल्म जगत के all over the globe, all over the world, because I am told that here are more than 60 films were presented here. तो ऐसा एक प्रकार से इस कोविड काल में आप सब लोगों ने साहस के साथ और इतना काम किया, इतना सुंदर प्रदर्शन किया, मैं आप सब लोगों को अपनी ओर से बधाई देता हूं।
I must say that IFFI 2020 has conquered all the ifs and buts to ensure that there is no if when it comes to the closeness and the bonding between human beings, our emotions and cinema.
कोरोना के महामारी दौर में फिल्म और मनोरंजन की जगत में अपना रचनात्मक बरकरार रखा। तमाम दिक्कतों के बाद इतनी मौजूदगी के साथ क्रिएटिविटी बनाने रखने की बेहतरीन इस दुनिया पर फिल्म जगत की शानदार पेशकशी इस कार्यक्रम योगदान गया।
ये पहली बार हुआ है पूरे एशिया में कि हमने गोवा सरकार, एंटरटेनमेंट सोसाइटी ऑफ गोवा और भारत सरकार के फिल्म निदेशालय ने मिलकर पूरे एशिया में पहली बार एक ऐसा फिल्म फेस्टिवल किया है जिसमें तकनीक भी है, जिसमें गीत संगीत भी है, जिसमें फिल्म है और ये भारत के उत्कृष्ट कला को भी दिखाता है, हमारी उत्कृष्ट तकनीक को भी दिखाता है।
Another yesteryear actor who was felicitated was Bishwajit Chatterjee, who was named IFFI's Personality of the Year.
मैं आप सब लोगों का आभारी हूँ। मुझे ये प्रेस्टिजियस अवार्ड दिया गया, उसके लिए मैं भारत सरकार को और IB मिनिस्ट्री को मैं दिल से स्वागत करता हूँ और धन्यवाद दे रहा हूँ।
Yesteryear actress Zeenat Aman was felicitated, as was Bhojpuri superstar Ravi Kishan, for their contribution to films.
I want to thank the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India, for inviting me to this closing ceremony of IFFI. Celebrating its 51st edition, IFFI continues to honor contemporary filmmakers for their outstanding work in cinema. Due to the pandemic, the film industry needed resilience, as many of the speakers ahead of me have said, and IFFI is one such institution which could effectively provide it at the right place and at the right time.
ये मुझे सम्मान IFFI से मिला, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है इस मंच पर आके। मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा एक ऐसे व्यक्तित्व को जिनकी वजह से मैं राजनीति में आया, यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। आज देश, आज ये IFFI फेस्टिवल पूरे वर्ल्ड में कहीं फेस्टिवल नहीं हो रहा है, इस भारत में हो रहा है।
Festival director Chaitanya Prasad, who has been credited with making the concept of a hybrid festival a reality, thanked everyone for their support.
Today we are extremely proud that we did a festival unique and the only kind as far as the international circuit is concerned. And finally, on my own behalf, I can say I feel very relieved. We worked towards a goal. We wanted to create excellence of cinema. We wanted to create a content which would be unmatched. And the cinema which came to Goa, which we showcased, the world has appreciated it, the media has appreciated it, the online buzz of IFFI 51 is there.
A packed auditorium also watched as video messages from film greats from across the world, including megastar Amitabh Bachchan. The day also saw the announcement of awards in various categories. Rukma Datta's report from Goa for DD India.
All right, the 51st IFFI hybrid format of IFFI comes to a close. Up next, very quickly, we'll take a look at the COVID situation across the worst affected states of the country. Kerala reported maximum number of new cases yesterday. 6,036 positive cases were reported yesterday. Besides, 5,173 patients were discharged. 20 patients died in the past 24 hours. In Maharashtra, 2,752 new cases were registered yesterday. 1,743 patients were discharged, while 45 patients died in the past 24 hours. Currently, there are 44,831 active cases in Maharashtra. Tamil Nadu continues to report a stable COVID-19 case tally, with the daily numbers staying below the 600 mark. A total of 569 persons tested positive for the disease across the state yesterday. 7 deaths were reported, while 642 patients were discharged in the last 24 hours. In the national capital, Delhi, 185 new cases of the infection were reported yesterday. 315 patients were cured and discharged, while 9 patients died in the past 24 hours. Currently, there are 1,741 active cases in Delhi. More than 31,000 healthcare workers were vaccinated in 5 states on 9th day of the massive countrywide COVID-19 vaccination program yesterday. Around 693 sessions were held yesterday. The cumulative number of healthcare workers vaccinated against COVID-19 has crossed 16 lakh through 28,613 sessions. Only 10 adverse events following immunization, or the AEFIs, have been reported so far. The most common of them which have been reported are fever, pain and injection site, and also dizziness. The Health Ministry defines AEFIs as any untoward medical occurrence which follows immunization and which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with the usage of the vaccine. And now we'll take a quick global update on COVID-19. Over 9 crore 97 lakh 30,000 people have contracted COVID-19 globally, while more than 7 crore 17 lakh 9,700 have recovered from it. The number of lives claimed due to COVID-19 stands above 21 lakh 37,800. The US continues to remain the worst affected country, with cases crossing 2 crore 56 lakh 87,800. The country has registered more than 4 lakh 29,200 deaths, followed by Brazil, where over 2 lakh 17,000 lives have been lost due to COVID-19. And the US will impose a ban on most non-US citizens entering the country who have recently been to South Africa in a bid to contain the spread of the new variant of COVID-19. US President Joe Biden will also impose an entry ban on nearly all the non-US travelers who have been in Brazil, United Kingdom, Ireland and 26 countries in Europe that allow travel across open borders. The South African variant, also known as 501Y.V2 variant, is 50% more infectious and has been detected in at least 20 countries. The South African variant has not yet been found in the United States, but at least 20 US states have detected a UK variant. The US has more than 2 crore 56 lakh COVID-19 cases, with over 4 lakh 29,000 deaths. Mexico's death toll from COVID-19 is approaching close to 1 lakh 50,000, which is among the world's highest death tolls. Mexican health officials say that the number of cases and deaths is likely to significantly be higher than the official data. Defying repeated calls by authorities, Mexicans had nevertheless met to celebrate New Christmas and New Year's holidays, triggering the number of cases to rise tremendously. The country has over 17 lakh 52,300 cases of COVID-19 so far. Also, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday said that the country will be closing its international airport from Monday to restrict the spread of COVID-19 and the new COVID-19 strains. Flights will be allowed to land or take off from Israel till the end of January. Prime Minister Netanyahu said that the airport will hermetically shut down except for unusual cases to prevent entry of COVID-19 strains and allow for the efficient continuation of the national vaccination effort. Egypt has on Sunday started vaccinating the frontline medical staff as against COVID-19 using the jab developed by China National Pharmaceutical Group, that is Sinopharm. Health Minister Hala Zaid said that the vaccine will be given free of cost first to all doctors and frontline workers treating the patients of COVID-19. After that, it will be provided to other medical workers, senior citizens and people with chronic illnesses. She said on Sunday that the country secured an additional 40 million vials from one company and 20 million from another, without specifying their origin, but bringing the total to 100 million doses. Egypt has so far recorded a total of 1,61,143 cases and 8,902 people have died due to the virus. Dutch police have detained over 100 protesters for triggering violence during the protest against COVID-19 induced lockdown restrictions in central Amsterdam. The police used water cannons, dogs and mounted police to disperse the protest, which came just a day after the government introduced a night curfew for the first time since World War II. Fearing a riot or a disease-spreading event, Mayor Femke Halsema had designated the square as a high-risk zone and gave police the power to preemptively frisk people for weapons. Netherlands has registered over 9,48,000 cases of COVID-19 with around 13,540 deaths. And also in some other international news, U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said that former President Donald Trump's approaching second impeachment trial in the Senate will be fair but move at a relatively fast pace. The leaders of the U.S. Senate had agreed on January 23rd to push back Trump's impeachment trial by 2 weeks, giving the chamber more time to focus on Democrat President Joe Biden's legislative agenda and cabinet nominees before turning to the contentious showdown over Trump. The Democratic-controlled House of Representatives impeached Trump earlier this month for inciting the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. The Senate trial on the charge will begin the week of 8th of February. Rescuers in China have freed 11 gold miners alive on Sunday. The miners were trapped hundreds of meters underground for 14 days after an explosion ripped through a gold mine in East China's Shandong province. 22 workers were caught underground during the explosion in Qixia city on January 10th. The fate of the 10 other miners remains unknown as rescue operations continue to try and locate them. That's it in this edition of the News This Hour. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.